Hello again guys, welcome back to another Big L Devlin video, and this is my arms workout. So I'm training both biceps and triceps in this, and you can see I always usually start off my bicep workout with what I see as a compound lift for biceps, even though it only works one muscle group, and that is bicep curl on a free Olympic bar. Now I always start off on 60 kilograms, which is what's on the bar there at the moment, and I've just done about 16 reps on there, and I find 60 kilograms for me is my it's my warm-up weight, and that's why I always do. Sometimes I do as little as 2 or 3 reps on it, but today I wanted to just show exactly how I do it. Now, when it comes to bicep curl on an Olympic bar like this, where I'm doing at the moment 80 kilograms, I do believe, as you can see, in rocking a little bit, Magnus Samuelsson, a strong man from Sweden, he had the world's strongest arms, and this is exactly how he used to train his arms, and still does to this day actually. So it may not look pretty, but believe me, this really does help build super strong and super big biceps, and I put on about 1 inch on my arm after about 6 weeks of training this, so it really is an effective way. So you saw me do 60 kilos, 80 kilos and 90 kilograms there. Sometimes I go up to as much as 120, but that's only for 1 rep, and it's one really ugly rep. But I've just decided, to basically do push pull. So I've gone from biceps to triceps, and I'll be going back to biceps in a little bit, but this is a classic way of training. I say push and pull, gives you a little bit of time to rest. Now this is tricep push downs. You'll find this in every gym. I've not been to a gym where this machine does not exist in one form or another. Unfortunately, this one where I'm training is actually very light. It looks quite heavy, and it is a heavy weight for most people, but for me, my triceps are very, very strong and always have been strong. I'm quite lucky in that area. However, as I've described on Big L's Big Weekly videos, I do feel that now my triceps, because I haven't trained them that hard for so long, do need to be worked, as they are my limiting factor now in both shoulders, shoulder press, overhead press, and on the bench press. So I really need to build them up again and get them super strong. So here's me doing what I see as the most important and staple exercise of triceps, and I say that's tricep push downs. Now I believe when it comes to training biceps and triceps, the only way is beast mode. You've got to really beast your arms for them to really respond well, and so this is me trying to, or attempting to make this piece of equipment heavier. And it's one little trick you can learn, guys. If you've got a second pin hanging around, you can ram that through the weight, which I can't show you because unfortunately the pins in this gym aren't universal. They're not all the same size, and it just happens to be that the machine I'm using has a very, very thin pin and all the rest have very thick pins, so I can't unfortunately slap on an extra 20 kilograms onto this piece of equipment, which is a shame because it would have been quite good. But I just make up for it for doing a couple of extra sets of 16. As you see here, I do about 4 or 5 sets in total, and to be honest, with triceps I always find that you can do loads and loads of sets. So I sometimes do 10 to 12 sets sometimes of 16 to 25 reps every set, and I'll get it as heavy as possible as well for that. Whether that's just because my triceps are strong or whether that's what has made my triceps strong, I'm not sure really, but it's just the way I've been taught by my coach right from the beginning, and it's benefited me, and that's the way I truly believe it. So go out there and try it, guys. Try 8, 10, 12 sets of 25 reps on as heavy as weight as you can handle, and you'll see just the pump that gets. It's absolutely phenomenal. So coming up now, I've gone back onto biceps. So I said push and pull. This is concentration kill. So this is the Arnold Schwarzenegger's favourite exercise, and something he believed in very much. And of course, as we all know, he had some fantastic biceps. Not quite as good as mine, as you can see down there. But this is quite a lightweight. I do get heavier as I go along. But with biceps, I do believe, especially with concentration kills, that on dumbbells you have to be quite strict. You'll see me lose my form a little bit as I go a little bit heavier and do some different exercises like hammers, but as you see, relatively speaking, my form is almost perfect on here. I do believe in being very strict in regards to getting the full stretch and the full contraction without much movement or swing involved. And see, for this, I when it comes to dumbbells, I get bored, so I like to superset. Basically, I like to make it as high intensity as possible. So I've gone from curls onto hammer curls here, so concentration curls onto hammer curls, and it hits the bicep in different ways. Concentration curls are great for developing the peak, especially the inside peak, so the bit which is closest to your sort of torso. And hammer curls, which I'm doing now, develops real good mass to the bicep and sort of the rear part of the peak or the outside of the bicep. It's an absolutely brilliant way. And I find obviously if you combine the two, you get a full, complete arm, and that's obviously very important. Now, I've upped the weight. I'm not sure exactly what's on those dumbbells. Dumbbells all look different in every gym, but they're heavy. As you'll see on my face, they are heavy. They're over 30 kilos, I know that. I think they're about 35 kilograms. In fact, actually, I had no idea what the weight of these dumbbells were, because I remember now when I was checking them, the numbers on the side of the dumbbells had rubbed off, so I had no idea what I was lifting. So you just got to play around and experiment. But you can see, I mean, they're hard enough to bring up and place on the legs, not alone lift the curls. So they are pretty heavy, and I do believe that with, as I say, especially with going into strongman, big men have got to lift big weights. You've got to shift some big ass weights, even if the style is not perfect, but you can see the style's pretty good actually on there. It's not as good as the concentration kills, and there you go. See, I'm in a lot of pain, so it is a heavy weight, and I do enjoy training biceps like that. I find it just breaks down the tediousness of it, because it can get a little bit boring, I must admit, doing these fancy bodybuilder style lifts. Now this is triceps, again, say push pull, very classic style of training, and this is donkey kickbacks, but behind the back of the head with the dumbbells, improvising on the road. I'm not familiar with this gym, to be honest. There wasn't that much equipment for arms, although there was, but there was one guy hogging 4 pieces of equipment. There he is, right behind me. Not that I'm backslacking him, but he had 4 pieces of equipment, so unfortunately I couldn't do a lot of what I wanted. And so I decided, as I say, just do old-fashioned lifts, and this is what I do believe is probably the best for developing strength to the triceps, and this is tricep close grip press. Basically, it's brilliant for bench press, which is the main reason I'm doing it, because you can see it is bench press just with your hands really close together. Now, regards how close do you put your hands together, or how far do you put them apart, you'll see on the next clip, or the clip after it, you'll see me sort of touching my thumbs together, and that is the perfect guide to how far you should keep your hands together. Basically 2 thumb lengths, 1 thumb length, yeah, there you go. As you see, I'm sort of putting my hands together to work it out. Now, because this bar was quite narrow, I actually had to go a little bit wider. Normally the fingertips or the thumb tips are touching one another, but I had to just go a little bit wider because the bar's so narrow it was rotating in my hands, and I was obviously without a spot. I don't want the bar to rotate on my hands and hit me. So again, we're going up even heavier, up to 100 kilograms now, so it's 220 pounds for close grip bench press, so a pretty decent weight, because most guys can't even bench press this. So and it's a lot harder doing it closer, because it basically takes out the chest and the shoulders. So this is pretty much purely triceps lifting this. But I love doing this movement, because if you fail, all you have to do is bring your hands out wide and you can turn it into a bench press. And 100 kilos is no problem for me to bench press. I bench press it all day long for over 20 reps at a time. So it's something you don't really need a spot for. And now I'm going on to my last movement, which is power cleans. I find this really helps develop forearm. It just ties everything in together. But as I say, coming to the end, guys, so please like, comment and subscribe, and I hope you enjoyed the video, and come watch my next training video, hopefully next Monday. So thanks for watching, guys, and see you soon.